Hi everyone. Today's interview with Mariam, and I don't even know how to make this intro. Like I tried to film this intro like three times, and it's such a drastic shift. Like Mariam went from her dad passing a year ago, feeling bleak about life, uh, renting a room on a couch from a friend, and just binge eating, binge drinking, just didn't know how to cope, to literally 180-degree shift. She started a new business in home, I believe it's home care, and now she's done over 500,000 in just 7 months of starting this business from Jan to July 31st in this year. And she owns her own home. She's a completely different person now. She's going to the gym. She just feels happier, healthier than ever before. And it's all a result of who she's become. And in today's interview, she shares her full story. So she drops a lot of gems in this. I hope you enjoy this. Let's get right to it right now.
How would you introduce Mariam 2.0 right now? How would you introduce what do you do? How do you feel? How your daily routines have changed, your day-to-day life as compared to where you were before, after you went
Oh
through all these moments?
my gosh, I would introduce myself today as an owner of an in-home successful in-home care agency, former Miss
Hmm.
Pakistan finalist, U.S. Army veteran. These were all titles that I was almost ashamed to say. Like I was ashamed to say I was
Hmm.
in the military. 1.0, Mariam. I would never tell people I was in the army. I own a successful in-home care agency in California. I have 56 employees. My whole life changed for me in the last year and a half, 2 years. Yeah, I have a YouTube channel now that I talk about what I've been through and how I've come out of it. And I am glad to be the person that people come to now for advice or guidance or
Hmm.
just to vent to. And the version of myself that I am now is somebody that I wish I had when I was a 1.0.
Yeah.
And so when I speak or when I do my videos or when I talk to my employees, I do come from the angle from where I know what it feels like. And
Hmm.
so that's where I feel like I've had success in not just my business, but my personal life and like finances and family relationships is because I went past the point of no return to come back better.
Yeah.
And so now that I am this version of myself, I have so much reverence and respect for people that can see themselves through challenges, that can see themselves through the dark night of
The
misery.
dark night of the soul. Yeah.
Yeah, the dark night of the soul and come out better. And if you can get yourself out better, you just come that much better version of yourself than the one before. Change fucking hurts. Change
It hurts. It's
hurts.
uncomfortable.
Change is uncomfortable. And I don't want this to come out that it was all beautiful and pretty and my life was easy. It sucked. It sucked. And I
Yeah.
had to grit through it. I had to get through to the other side because I refused to go back to what it was before. I wasn't going to go through these spirals again. I wasn't going to have feast and then I was going to have famine. I wasn't going to blame everybody and not myself. I had to do better for myself. And it's not easy and it fucking sucks, but you have to do the work. You have to see yourself go through this to see yourself at a better level. Even now, I feel like you are what you attract. You are a magnet to the reality that you create yourself. When I was my
Hmm.
1.0 Mariam, yeah, I would get people who would scam me out of my money on the internet because I was looking for
Yeah.
fast ways to do things. I constantly was in debt because I didn't understand, that everything's an energy. You are what you put out.
Yeah.
And so now, I am surrounded by people and people like I feel like opportunities, situations, money, people that are aligned with me at the vibration that I am are attracted to me now.
Yeah.
Even as simple as I went to In and Out yesterday, and everybody that was this girl that was taking orders of everybody's food. I was watching her, and everybody that were coming up to her, she was like just dull and subdued, and like it just looked like she was having a rough day. And I just went up there to make my order, and this girl literally like brightened up. She asked me how my day was. She like suggested like me to go look at like this museum down the street. Like the energy that I was able to pull
That
out
you're
of her.
emitting. Yeah.
Yes. And she even came and checked in on me like after I was like In and Out, right? So like
Yeah. Just like at this regular establishment.
regular day and like a normal instance where old Mariam would have never even paid attention. Like I wouldn't even recalled it. But because
Yeah.
of the awareness that I'm in now, the energy that I have created around me, like a force field, I'm so glad that like I can reach out and touch people and it changes them as well. So my
Yeah.
reactions will be completely different than somebody else's who's right behind me or who's right ahead of me because of the
Exactly.
energy that I'm projecting now as a 2.0 me.
Yeah, it's almost like your whole aura has changed. Like
Mhm.
before, you were having this maybe negative aura, like you were stuck in that past
I was getting cut
situation.
in line, people were being
Yeah,
mean to me,
like
like,
getting like stepped all over. Like it's not like someone important. But now that you consider like your self concept, I believe, has probably changed due to this program or due to other things that just have like compounded into the person that you are in right now, has been able to kind of open up that space of like your loving heart energy for people to
100%,
come
yeah.
in and be magnetized towards you, which is like, it's not even like, and something that I want to like clarify, it's not just about the money, right? It's about just your
No,
daily life, how your
it's
routines have
how you
changed,
show up in
right?
the world. Yeah, and even like for the Vegas trip, the workshop that I'm a part of, it's huge. It's a very well-known workshop, hundreds of people. The trainers, there's about 8 to 12 trainers that are very powerful, very influential people. And this is my second workshop that I've ever been to. I went to the first workshop like in April, May. I went to the first workshop, so I went to the second workshop. And I remember walking in, and the old Mariam would have been like a pick me. Like, I need to sit up front. I need to go kiss ass.
Yeah,
And then
like
this part,
trying,
trying
chasing
so
energy.
chasing energy. And I did that on the first workshop, even like 3 months ago. I was like sitting in front, I was the first person in line. And this past workshop that I went last week, I was like, I'll just walk in and, do my thing or whatever. And I remember walking in, and like 5 of the trainers came to me out of the
Yeah,
hundreds of people that were in the workshop, and they remembered my name. They remembered my agency. They remembered my story. And I felt so special. And I did nothing different. I just walked in and took my seat at the corner. And I remember them, the trainers, like they would light up when they see me, like, oh, hey, Mariam, hi, Mariam, how are you? How's the business? We saw
yeah,
yours. Like, we went looking for your numbers. Like, it
yeah.
just
Like
made
they
me
actually
feel
went out
so
and
special.
found
Yeah.
out about you. And I think it's important to point out as well, is like nothing changed in the 3D, like what you were doing, but you changed everything internally, which is what caused it to change. And it just goes back to what you were telling before, where you were like blaming outside circumstances for what was happening to you. Like, oh, your dad, like, why did your dad die? Like, all those situations, as to now, like, you completely changed. You're like, it's all about me and it's all
Mhm.
about the inner work. And then that, like, you've had proof time and time again that you haven't done anything different outside, like, physically doing things, activity, but things have completely changed for you. People's reactions to you have completely changed. Your
Mhm.
business has grown just because of your inner work, right?
Exactly. If anything, I feel like I'm a lot less, I'm doing a lot less physically because of all the
Mhm.
inside work that I did. So it's like I'm not, again, the pick me behavior is completely gone from me, thank God. And like I'm just
Yeah,
being
the
myself
pick
now.
me.
For who people who don't know that, that's somebody who's very upfront, very, or not front, but very like in people's faces, or like does behavior
Yeah,
that put them out not in the best light.
just like victim mindset, like, oh, pick me, like, because yeah,
It's me, I'm right here, like pay attention to
I'm
me.
here,
Hey,
like,
I'm right
look at
here.
me.
Hi,
Yeah,
look,
yeah,
I'm wearing all the things. I'm like, showing up. I have all this money. Look at me type behavior. And I've
yeah,
removed that from myself.
yeah.
And it's crazy because old Letty would have died for this attention. And now I'm like, "Nah, I'm good. I'll sit in the corner, mind my business. And it's coming to me on its own.
Yeah. What do you think are some of the things that you've detached from that have been able to help you to get to this point? Like maybe things in the beginning you would put too much importance to. Is there anything that you feel like you detached from through the program that helped you kind of get to this point?
My family's opinion and other people's opinion about me. And
Hmm.
I did that, I did it very ceremoniously. Like I went on all my profiles like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and I made
Hmm.
everything public. And I remember that day and I was like, oh my God, this is terrifying. I don't know if I should do this. And I used to play it safe, or in my mind, I
Yeah.
would play it safe. And I remember one of the things that was a takeaway from the course was like, do things that make you uncomfortable. And that was so far removed from my old me. Like I would do things
Yeah.
to stay safe. I don't want to cause any problems. I don't want my family to find out how I talk or speak or how I dress,
Yeah.
or I got to be
Just like
careful what I
hiding
say.
yourself.
I was terrified. I was like, oh my God, they're going to see me talking this way. I'm going to be wearing this. I'm going to be doing that. And I was like, do it. And I just remember making all my things public and I didn't care. I did
Yeah,
care,
yeah.
but I was like, whatever happens, happens. So detaching from people's opinion about me, specifically my family, was huge. It was huge. And that was
Yeah.
I feel like now that I'm more in myself and more in who I am authentically to myself, for myself, is why I was able to have the success that I did. I no longer needed to do the drinking and the eating and spending reckless amounts of money, because I can show up as who I am, and you got to accept it. Versus, no, I'm this way that my family wants me to be,
Yeah.
and the way that I would cope was like, okay, at home I'll just do these reckless behaviors. And now, because I
Yeah.
get to be myself, I don't have the need for the other behaviors.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. So I feel like right now you've gone through so many of these achievements, like you've gotten to all these points. If you could point out one milestone that you've achieved through this entire year that just has made the biggest change in you and taught you the biggest lessons, what would that one thing be? Reaching the 100K, 120 days after? Would it be just like that moment when you sat down, you're like, I actually have this dream life? What was that moment where you were just like, I made it? Like, I actually did it.
I would say, wow, that's a good question. I've had so many good things happen. You know what it would be? It would probably be, so I recently did quarterly evaluations on my employees,
Mhm.
and it was 3 weeks, full sprint. I did 32 employees, their quarterly
Mhm.
evaluations. I'm at 53 now, just throw in that little humble brag.
Yeah,
Just
throw
throw
that down.
that little humble brag in there. But in June, the first week of June, first 3 weeks of June, I did 32 employee evaluations. And I remember being very anxious about it, like nervous. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh God, there's a lot of employees that I'm going to be seeing. And at the end of the 3 weeks, I was doing a summary of everybody's evaluations and what they said and what came out of
Mhm.
the quarterly evaluations. And just for context, these quarterly evaluations capture their performance, how they've been doing, how we've been doing as their employer, like as
Mhm.
their boss, how I've been doing. And I remember I did the summary and I did like a page so that I could post it to our team. And I just started crying. I just started crying. I'm like, oh my God, look at little old me.
Yeah.
Like I
Like, look at
created
that person. Look at you now.
this time last year, I was like miserable. It was like like June. So like this time last year in June, I was like, I'm like doing these courses, trying to make myself a better person and get myself out of debt and stop drinking and stop eating like terribly, working out, getting myself healthy again. And I'm doing quarterly evaluations on 32 employees, and all 32 employees, the one thing that they complimented the agency on was that they feel like they're cared for. They felt like that I genuinely wanted them to like succeed in not just
Mhm.
work, but their life, that I made their lives better. 32 people, girl, 32.
Yeah.
And I just started crying because I was just so like, I'm getting emotional now. I felt so humbled and I felt so in awe of what I can do when I'm healed and what I can give to the world when I'm in the space that I'm in now. So
Absolutely. That's giving me chills. That's giving me chills right now. It's just like you got to this point where you were able to like have your gift be just open to everyone
mhm.
and serve them well and serve them in a way that they would actually appreciate it for you. And
And
showing that
yeah.
Mariam 1.0, hey, this is possible. You can do it.
The 1.0, I couldn't even get out of my own head. And then the 2.0, I'm taking care of 32 people, their
Mhm.
families, their livelihood, their well-being. I'm prioritizing them. I'm teaching them how to take care of themselves. And
Yeah.
so,
When you
yeah.
couldn't even do that for yourself in the beginning.
And then a year later, I'm doing it for like, well, shoot, now it's almost, 50 something people. Yeah.
No, that's incredible. Like I love hearing all of this stuff about you. I feel like it's such an inspiration for everyone that hears this or sees it in the school community because we have posts from you on there as well. And I was just looking through all of it and I was like, wow, this story is amazing because I just saw your intro post and then I saw your latest post and I'm like, what?
What?
Like this person really did a 180 and like this person really put their head down
Night and day.
and just
Yeah.
did the work. And it's like it's just to say to everyone that maybe might be wanting to join the program and all these things, put your head down and do the work. If you were to maybe like if you were to talk to someone that was maybe trying to join the reality master program, they were on the fence, maybe to do it or not, what would you say to them if they were in your same position like you were before?
I do it. Do it. And worst case scenario, you'll come out at least 2% to 10% better. And isn't that better than
Yeah.
where you're at now?
Yeah.
Yeah, and and if you come in with the mentality that this is for you and you're making your life and your reality and your identity better, then it's worth it. It's 100%
Yeah.
worth it. I came in with just sheer faith and hope. I was like,
Yeah.
even if I get to 5% better, this is totally worth it.
Exactly. So you would say like just taking it moment by moment, like not just looking at the long term effects, just going through it
Just
moment by
see what it
moment and
does.
having
Just
that
see,
faith.
yeah, just see how it works. Yeah, just take it one step at a time. You can't project, you can't catastrophize, you can't think what if, because if you wouldn't be you're in the situation you're in now because of all of this.
Yeah,
So if you could just zoom out and look at it as a pocket of time, that this is your opportunity to even get 5 to 10% better, isn't that better than what you're at now? And if
yeah,
it creates a paradigm shift or a perspective change, isn't it worth it now? If you were to zoom
yeah,
all the way out and look at this pocket of time, it's totally worth it.
yeah. And like just honestly asking, do you think the investment that you made to join into the program was worth what you got right now?
I would pay that 15 times over, 20 times over.
Yeah.
And at the time when I was doing it, yeah, it seemed like a lot, but it resulted in 500,000 in revenue in 6 months. Easy. Tell Quasi I owe him a coffee.
Yeah, I will. I will. No,
I would pay that fee 15, 20, 30 times over. Easy. Easy.
yeah. I feel like that's like what not a lot of people understand. Like it's just up from an investment, but then they don't know how much that could double, triple, 10x into the future if they
500x.
actually apply it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
No, 100%. You're at this incredible point. I just wanted to ask you, what's next for you? How are you looking to level up? I know you're not to stop here. How are you looking to level up? How are you looking to actually grow your business at this point that you're in right now? What do you see in the future for yourself?
I definitely see myself in the mentor trainer capacity. Not right now, not right now, because a lot's happening. All good things. Uh, I've noticed recently in the last couple of months, especially, that a lot of people are coming to me for advice and guidance.
Hmm.
Fully prepared for that yet because I do want to focus on the business, and
Hmm.
so I'm growing my business to $1 million at the end of the year with a certain amount of clients and a certain amount of caregivers that I need. But my goal
Hmm.
financially is $1 million by December.
Hmm.
And personally prioritizing my relationships with my friends, family, and my partner. And physically, girl, this is the best I've ever been, like physically. Like I've prioritized my physical health, my nutrition. So I'm
Hmm.
on track. I just the consistency is what's my priority right now. But
Yeah.
financially, it would be my
Consistency.
$1 million mark at December. And then in the future, I would like to be in the teacher guidance mentor phase of it.
Yeah. Like
Yeah,
actually leveling up to that way that you can teach other people to do
exactly.
exactly what you did.
100%.
No,
Yeah.
that's amazing. I love hearing all of this from you. If there were just one or a couple words of encouragement that you would offer anyone that's thinking about joining the program right now, what would you say to them if there is anything,
I
just
would
to kind of like
say,
end things off?
and so I would say you don't have to be 100% certain. You could be 10, 15, 5% okay with it. Just
Hmm.
allow and indulge that 15, 20% of you that believes that something can happen because of it. Just have
Hmm.
faith, go in with an open mind and trust the process and stick to the process and implement, do the work,
Implement. I
do the
always say this
work.
to people in the coaching calls. Actually do it.
Implement. Yes, you have to implement. Find people. It was so easy to find people in the community because people want people to help them. There's a
Yeah.
community for a reason, and a simple post will do it. Anytime I posted, I've gotten so many people that like, hey, yeah, let's do the 7 levels of why together. Yeah, let me
Yeah.
help you. Let's jump on a call. People are so supportive here. And
Yeah.
you could take away all the information and do nothing with it and then wonder why you're not getting better. You could take all the information and implement it and see for yourself how much change you can have.
Exactly. It's
And
all
it
about
doesn't
what you
take
decide.
long. It doesn't take long. I promise you. This is not like a months or years thing. This was days, weeks things for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I absolutely love that, and I love that you shared that with everyone here because I feel like a lot of the doubts that we were talking about today in this whole entire call has come up with so many people that they're like trying to join, they don't know what to do, they're at this rock bottom point like you were in before, and they see you and they're just like, "Can I actually do that?"
Yes, you
But I feel
can.
like, yeah, yes, you can, and it's
Yes, you
all
can.
inside. Would you
Yeah.
agree?
Agreed. 100% agreed.
But yeah, thank you so much for this call today. It was incredible. I loved interviewing you today. It was just good energy, good everything,
Thank
good
you.
vibe. And I'm so excited to see where you go on from now and keep posting in the group because we have so many people that will just like drop off and they're like doing millions and millions. And it's like, where are you? Like, just keep
No,
posting, you
I'll
know?
remember. I remember. Yeah, I'll go back and post. You guys, I owe so much to you guys. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time today. And I'll see you later. I'll see you in the school group.
You'll see me. All right. Bye. Thank you.
Bye.